Good day, everyone. Welcome to our new session of Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. For today's discussion, we will be talking about aspects of culture. I am Sir Lou, and I will be your facilitator for today. For today's objectives, we have to identify the different aspects of culture and also to analyze the aspects of culture. And lastly, to provide realistic examples of aspects of culture. And now, let's begin. According to Tyler on his book Primitive Culture, culture is a complex whole. Therefore, it has parts, aspects, and features. Today, we will be dealing with the aspects of culture, which is divided into seven features. First, it is dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. Second, it is shared and contested. Third, it is learned through socialization or enculturation. Fourth, it is transmitted through socialization or enculturation. Fifth, it is patterned social interactions. Sixth, it is integrated and at times unstable. Lastly, it requires language and other forms of communication. Let's start with the first feature, culture being dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. It changes over time as new phenomena, events, and discoveries exist. For example, as we live in time of corona or the COVID-19 pandemic, we are experiencing a different way of living, from a touchy culture to a no-touch. Kung dati ay pwede tayong makipaghalubilo sa iba, ngayon ay hindi. It therefore concludes that our culture is dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. Let's proceed to the second one. Culture as shared and contested. Culture is for a group of people which may be changed in accordance with the needs. Sometimes it causes conflict for other group. Culture in general should be practiced by two or more people. Therefore, it is shared. How about culture being contested? Due to social differentiation or pagkakaiba, there are practices that seem to be unacceptable to another group. Thus, it became contented. Next. Next on the list is culture being learned through socialization and enculturation. Before we expound on that, I would like to define socialization and enculturation. Socialization is the process through which people are taught to be proficient members of a society. It describes the ways and the people come to understand societal norms and expectations, to accept society's beliefs, and to be aware of societal values. While enculturation is the gradual process of an individual or group learning and adapting to the norms and values of a culture or subculture in which they are immersed. For example, learning a new language or clothing style. We learn the culture by socialization when our parents or the adult in our cultural community teach us how we should live the way our cultural group should exist. For example, our Filipino parents are teaching us our language and our national symbols. On the other hand, we learn the culture through enculturation when we ourselves are adapting to another cultural group's way of living, such as speaking the Korean language, by which we learned while watching K dramas, or being in love with Japanese food such as ramen, which allows us to use chopsticks, a foreign material in our culture. Next, culture being transmitted through socialization and enculturation. It can be passed from generations through generation. Because of the culture can be learned, therefore it can be transmitted and immortalized. This also connotes as a way of preserving both material and non-material culture. Next, culture has patterned social interaction. It follows certain structure, such as the way we talk to our parents, teachers, and other members of the society. One of the best examples here is the Chinese culture. Having a Confucian values, they are following the five relationships in the society. It is a philosophy that says the importance of having a good relationship with the emperor, husband, siblings, and society. One of the major concepts here is the social structure or the hierarchy of social power. Second to the last aspects is culture as integrated and at times unstable. Once certain part of culture changes, there will be an impact to the whole. In anthropology, culture can be categorized into three major parts such as economic, social, and political. If we change the way we vote, which is political, there is a chance that our social order will be changed, which will affect our economy. On the positive light, if we vote for a competent leader, we might have an orderly society. That is inviting for the investors. Lastly, culture requires language and other forms of communication. It is the soul of a culture. Without it, transmission is impossible. Same with understanding of it. Language transcends to all of the aspects. For without language, we cannot learn new ideas or understand the practices. If there's one thing we need to preserve more, it is the Filipino language. For some of the regional languages and dialects are dying. Again, these are the aspects of culture. First, it is dynamic, flexible, and adaptive. Second, it is shared and contested. Third, it is learned through socialization or enculturation. Fourth, it is transmitted through socialization or enculturation. Fifth, it is patterned social interactions. Sixth, it is integrated and at times unstable. Seventh, it requires language and other forms of communication. I hope you enjoy our lesson for today and you may also enjoy our next activities.